Okay, time for a new video, and whether you're watching this on my Facebook writing page or on my YouTube channel, thank you very much for checking this out. Certainly, if you've seen previous videos of mine over the past week or two, you'll know that I have been talking quite a bit about this year's Eurovision Song Contest, which is now over. The grand final was on Saturday night, at the time of recording this, just a few days ago. And in this video, which hopefully won't be too long, I will be talking about the grand final, my thoughts on each entry, my predictions and whether they were correct or not, and also briefly talking about the semi-final results as well as a little bit of talk about next year's competition, because of course plans are already underway. There's no messing about. So, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it, and I'll be talking about the grand final first. As always, please respect my opinions, as I will with yours. Song 1, Ukraine. I predicted 8th, it finished 17th, a bit surprising. Last with the juries, I wasn't really expecting that. Clearly, first in the running order was a problem, and the whole gothic vibe didn't really impress the music professionals. Did much better in the public vote, and 17th overall. Really quite disappointing. I've just got the semi-final results in front of me. 6th in the semi-final, and I really should have done this before I started filming. Yes, much better with the public in the semi-final as well. I thought the performance was quite underwhelming, I've got to be honest. I know that Melvin had a lot of support, but the performance wasn't quite as exciting as it should have been. On first was the problem. Song 2, the dreaded spot in the running order, Spain. This was never going to do that well, unfortunately. I predicted 19th, it finished 23rd. I believe this is the 4th year in a row Spain has finished 20th or below. So something has got to change. It's almost 50 years, I think, since Spain last won, which is shocking because there are so many good musicians in Spain making good music. Spain did not do well in the public vote. Every year it's the same story. We can't be surprised. Did do a bit better in the jury vote, but 23rd overall. I thought the performance was alright, vocally okay, but it was going to be forgotten. Song 3, Slovenia. I am surprised that this qualified. Looking at the semi-final results, 9th in both sets of results, and in the grand final, 22nd. I did predict it to come last. That pause in the middle of the song, I just don't think it worked. I think people were confused by it. Certainly people listening / watching the song for the first time. Vocally okay, very sassy, but yeah, I think most people were surprised this qualified. Song 4, Lithuania. Predicted 7th, finished 12th, which is still a very good result for Lithuania. Really nice performance of When We're Old. I really like Ieva as a singer. A very delicate voice, her husband on stage with her. Very simple staging. Interestingly enough, Lithuania did not finish in the top 10 of the jury vote in the semi-final, which I find quite surprising. I thought that Lithuania would push for a top 3 finish in the semi-final. Instead, it finished in 9th place in the semi, which is really quite surprising. When it came to the grand final, the public liked it slightly more, well, by a point. So yeah, I'm really happy for Lithuania and Ieva. That song deserved to do well, and it did. It might have done even better had it been later on in the running order. Song 5, Austria. Well, wasn't this ridiculous? Austria won the jury vote with 271 points. I'm baffled. I mean, the song's alright, the performance was alright, but the best song of the evening, not a chance. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I think the feeling among the crowd in Lisbon, and indeed people commenting on social media, I think it was just confusion. Nobody expected Austria to do so well in the jury vote. What's interesting is that in the semi-final, Austria was a relatively distant second in the jury vote, and 5th with the public, meaning that Cesar Sampson finished 4th overall in the semi-final. 3rd in the grand final. I predicted 20th, so I was well off. But I really thought this song was going to struggle. I really did. I don't understand it at all. As soon as the jury vote was over, I thought, don't get comfortable, Cesar, because you're not going to win. This song will not do well enough in the public vote. It didn't. 13th in the public vote and 3rd overall in the end, which is still a remarkable, albeit very surprising result. I honestly thought something suspicious was going on because Austria was just so unexpected. Anyway, an alright performance, but nothing amazing. Estonia, song 6, fantastic. Everything was working, the vocals, the dress, camera angles, everything. I predicted 3rd. Elena finished 8th, doing slightly better with the juries, and in the semi-final, slightly better with the public. Yes, I'm not too surprised this didn't win, or really push for the win. That type of music, classical stuff, some people just won't really like it. What really disappoints me is that the juries, the music professionals, are supposed to vote as neutrally as possible, and vote on vocal ability and the staging and everything. And yet some jury members put Estonia last. I mean, even if you don't really like this type of music, you've got to appreciate it for what it is. And to put it last is really shocking. That's not judging neutrally, in my opinion. But anyway, 8th overall, a good result for Estonia. Song 7, Norway. This was never going to win. It was all right. Vocally fine, but lyrically poor, and Alexander, I think he knew he wasn't going to win. He actually did win the semi-final, but 15th in the grand final. I predicted 10th, did slightly better with the public. Not much else to say, really. Yeah, it was alright. Song 8, Portugal, the host nation, O Jardim, one of my favourite songs of the year. I predicted 18th, it finished last on home soil. Such a shame. I thought it was a fine performance. The problem, placed in the running order, no notable hook, very simple staging, over very quickly, and I think people just forgot it, which is a real shame. Portugal, I thought, would be much more appreciated by the juries. Wasn't to be. 25th in both votes, last overall. So disappointing. I'll certainly keep an eye on Claudia and Isaura going forward. Claudia's such a wonderful musician, great voice, so beautiful, and a very touching, melancholic song, intimate staging. I thought it was great, but yeah, it was always going to struggle. Last place, very harsh though. Song 9, the United Kingdom, my country, finished 24th out of 26. Not a shock at all, but I thought the performance was solid. I predicted 25th, it finished 24th, like I said. Didn't do very well with the juries at all, but finished above Sweden and Australia in the public vote. That is really amazing. Of course, sadly, the thing about the UK's entry this year is that it was interrupted by a stage invader. I'm sure you're all aware of this and seen the video. A man ran on stage and snatched the microphone from Suri, and for about 15 seconds she was not singing. The backing vocalist was instead. Security were really poor. The man should not have been allowed anywhere near the stage, but he ran on, and in fact Suri was giving an interview on British television this morning, and she had bruises on her wrist and shoulder, so you know, it could have been a lot worse. The man could have had a weapon, and certainly the EBU have launched an investigation. How was that man even allowed anywhere near the stage? I don't know. That was really poor from the Portuguese team at the arena. But the performance as a whole was amazing. She had this sudden surge of energy after the incident. The crowd rallied behind her. People were talking about sympathy votes. That never came to fruition. But really wonderful. I think she can be very proud of her performance. And in fact, it turns out the man who stole the microphone, who said, "Nazis of the UK media, we demand our freedom," something like that, Apparently he is known in Britain for interrupting television shows, but of course Portugal was unaware of this. Anyway, great performance, but the song was never going to really get many votes. Song 10, Serbia. Bit of a surprise it was in the final. Did so much better in the public vote than it should have done. Bit of neighbourly voting helped out there. I predicted 24th, it finished 19th. And in the semi-final, it did slightly better with the public. Yeah, I think everybody was talking about Suri, so forgot about the Serbian performance. I certainly did. You know, Novadeca, Novadeca, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. Nice instrumentals, nothing else. Song 11, Germany, 4th place. What a result. I predicted 11th for You Let Me Walk Alone. This song did very well in both votes, and Germany, after years of struggling, ended up with 340 points. Amazing. If Germany can turn it around, why can't Spain? Really good, really touching. Obviously, surely influenced by Ed Sheeran, but no bad thing because he's so famous, his music is so popular. If you send a song influenced by Ed Sheeran, chances are it's going to do very well. 4th place, almost 3rd place. And I think well deserved. I loved the LED screen, fantastic. Song 12, Albania. Who thought this would finish in 11th place? Who thought this time last week Jürgen Bush-Pepper and his song and Albania would finish in 11th place? Extraordinary. All about the voice, the staging average, but vocally superb. In the semi-final, 3rd with the juries, 11th with the public. And in the final, 7th with the juries and 18th with the public. So the juries really appreciating the voice on that occasion. Song 13, France. I hate to say this, but the fan failure of the year. I predicted 2nd. I really did think it would push for the win. 13th overall and 17th in the public vote. Really, really disappointing. I'm very surprised more votes didn't come Madame Monsieur's way. Great song, 13th overall, 173 points. A real shame. That song should have done a lot better. I thought the performance was great. Everybody was doing the merci, merci thing. Yeah, real shame. Should really have done better. Really should. Moving on, song 14, Czech Republic. 6th place, the country's best ever result. In my opinion, a little overrated. I predicted 14th. Big cheers for Mikolas in the arena, so I always knew it was going to do well in the public vote. In the semi-final, 2nd with the public, and in the grand final, 4th with the public and 15th with the juries. Yeah, fine performance, very charismatic, very slick, but a bit overrated, maybe. Anyway, song 15, Denmark. Big difference here. Finished 9th overall. I predicted 21st. I really thought it would struggle. 20th with the juries. 5th with the public is absolutely amazing. Denmark won the televote in semi-final 2. Remarkable. I don't think anybody expected it. Really fantastic. Great song. I thought it was performed very well. Great atmosphere. Great voice, looked good, sounded good, no complaints. Song 16, Australia, yeah. Didn't do too badly in the semi-final. In the final, finished in 20th place, Australia's worst result to date. Quite harsh, if you ask me. I thought that she performed quite well, although the staging and the lighting was too dark, in my opinion. That's such a minor quibble, though. I predicted it would finish 12th. It did finish 12th with the jury, but last in the public vote with 9 points. Really quite surprising, but I think the problem, and I really do believe this, people don't want Australia in the contest. I really think a lot of people don't want Australia to compete. Last year, didn't do very well in the public vote. This year, same thing. Next year, maybe the same deal. I think the novelty, if you want to call it that, has worn off a little bit. I, for one, couldn't care less. I don't mind Australia being in the contest, but clearly a lot of people aren't happy. Good song, underrated in the end. Song 17, Finland. Bit of a surprise here. I predicted 15th. It finished 25th. In the semi-final, Sarah only just qualified. I think the staging was unnecessarily over the top. Vocally fine, but everything else was just... I don't know. I didn't really see the point of really having this structure on stage. It could have been simpler. And in the end, I think people just thought, yeah, it's an alright song, but it's nothing special. And as much as I like the song, I now don't like it as much as I did. So yeah. Song 18, Bulgaria. The first time ever Bulgaria has not finished in the top 10 in a grand final. It finished 14th. I predicted 9th. In the semi-final, did better with the juries, and in the final, did better with the juries. I thought the performance was very disappointing, actually. Vocally fine, although the lead woman overshadowed everybody else. Not much else to say. Quite average. Gotta be honest, I never thought this song was going to win. Song 19, Moldova. Predicted 22nd, finished 10th. Not really a surprise, the staging was very well rehearsed. 8th with the public, 10th with the jury, and in the semi-final, 2nd with the public and 7th with the juries. Not bad vocally either. A lot of fun, but should this song have finished above France? I don't think so. Second top 10 result in a row for Moldova, pretty impressive, but the staging was the big thing. Song 20, Sweden. Oh yes. Finished 7th. I predicted 5th. In the semi-final, it won the jury vote. The juries love Sweden every year. And 2nd in the jury vote in the final. 23rd with the public. What a difference. I really was shocked. I couldn't believe it. This is what you get if you send generic pop every year. At some point, it's going to struggle. Even so, really very surprising. 21 points from the public. Really, really surprising. But then again, the performance wasn't that amazing. The light-up structure, yeah, fine. He was obviously quite confident, strutting his stuff. But the song was really nothing amazing. It was very much in the mould of Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake. And it just didn't quite work. Certainly not one of Sweden's strongest entries in recent years. Still another top 10 finish. But next year, something different from Sweden, thank you very much. It's been a long time since a band won Melodifestivalen. How about it? Yeah. You could hear the cheers when Sweden did so badly in the public vote. Clearly a lot of people did not want Sweden to win. Song 21, Hungary. Predicted 16th, finished 21st. Bit surprising, this song liked by so many fans, but in the end didn't do too well. Did better with the public in the final and in the semi-final. The juries obviously found it a bit too aggressive. I thought it was alright, not my type of music, but I don't mind the song at all, and yeah, the performance was obviously very standout. Pyrotechnics, flashing lights, the whole works. But in the end, a disappointing outcome. But well done to Hungary, A, for sending a song in their own language, and B, for something different. Song 22, Israel. We'll leave that for a second. Song 23, the Netherlands. My favourite song in the final. Finished 18th. I predicted 17th. In the semi-final, much better with the jury. In the grand final, better with the jury. The problem here for Wayland was the staging. The dancers weren't needed. I think it ruined the performance a little bit. I didn't really like the lighting. Just these blue and white lights. Could have been more colourful. Vocally great, but the staging wasn't particularly amazing. Underrated a little bit, but I'm not surprised at the result. Song 24, Ireland. Some people thought this could win. It never came close. Did slightly better with the jury in the final, and did better with the public in the first semi-final. Really nice, really simple, very touching, vocally good. The dancers obviously played a big part, and it finished 16th. I predicted 13th. So yeah, a good result for Ireland after years of real struggle, so they have to look at the positives here. Song 25, Cyprus. They still have yet to win the contest. Eleni Foureira with Fuego. I predicted first, it finished second. When it came down to the last few countries, I was supporting Cyprus because they had never won before. In the semi-final, it won the public vote and finished second overall. In the grand final, it was the juries who let Eleni down a little bit. Cyprus very nearly finished third in the public vote in the grand final. Italy only a few points behind. I thought the performance was really good, so vibrant, sexy, strong, great choreography, everything was working, it just wasn't quite good enough to win. And then lastly, Italy, fifth in the end. I predicted sixth. I'm glad this wasn't underrated. The public, third. Really remarkable, clearly enjoying the message of this song more than France, perhaps. Clearly, the results show it. 17th with the juries, bit surprising, but 5th overall. Really good results. Obviously a very powerful song, interesting lyrics that popped up on the screen in various languages. And yeah, another top 10 finish for Italy. I think that they can win within the next few years. Send Annalisa, and you'll be on to a winner, I'm sure. Anyway, that was a long ramble, I do apologise, but those are my thoughts. Performance of the night, I don't really know. I was very impressed with Estonia, Germany, Cyprus. Worst performance, I don't really know. But of course, Israel, the winner, song 22, 529 points, almost 100 ahead of Cyprus. Fourth win for Israel. Some people see it as a bit of a joke, I can understand that. But you know, it stood out. That's why it won. It stood out. So many people were talking about it from the moment the song was released. You know, the swinging cat arm ornaments, her voice, superb, her outfit, not the most attractive, but there we are. But the energy, it was there. The dancers, everything was working really well. It was a lot of fun. The message of the song, the whole #MeToo movement, inspired it. And yes, I'm not disappointed Israel won. I was rooting for Cyprus more at the end. But it was always going to push for the win. And so it did. If looking closely at the results, Israel finished fourth with the public in the first semi-final, won the jury vote, and then in the final, first with the public, third with the jury. And really, you have to finish in the top three of both votes to stand any chance of pushing for the win. Well done to Netta, and the song, Toy, yeah, a worthy winner? I guess so. I think 10 years from now, people might look back at it and think, yeah, maybe it shouldn't have won. But for now, I don't think any of us can be surprised. Not at all. It was always going to do well. Cyprus overtook it in the odds last week, but in the end, Israel had the last laugh. And some people have been very harsh towards Netta. I don't get it. Let's just respect the fact that it was a very energetic, lively performance. It was very well done. The song's catchy. The crowd loved it. And, you know, considering that Israel, you know, this time last year, they said that they might withdraw from Eurovision for the foreseeable future. And now next year, they're going to stage it. So, a fantastic turnaround. And well done. Very briefly, how long's this video? Oh, quite long. With regards to the semi-finals, I will be brief. Feel free to watch my previous videos if you want to hear my thoughts in more depth. Azerbaijan missed out in 11th place. Belgium, my favourite song of the year, finished 12th. It was the public who let Senek down, really harsh. Switzerland, 13th. Not bad in the end. Greece, 14th. I just thought the performance was really dreary. Armenia 15th, Belarus 16th, Croatia 17th, good voice and nothing else. Macedonia 18th, poor staging but good song. Iceland last, nothing from the public. for Iceland this year. Macedonia also really struggled in the public vote. Switzerland would have been a qualifier if it had been 100% juries, and Greece would have qualified if 100% public. In semi-final 2, Romania just missed out by a few points. Latvia 12th, Malta 13th, Poland 14th. As expected, the juries didn't really like it. Russia 15th. What a very, very poor result for Russia. I'm sure they'll come back next year and probably win. The juries really didn't like Russia. And then we have Montenegro, San Marino and Georgia. Notably, San Marino did receive 12 points from the Maltese public. First ever 12 points for San Marino, I think. Having a look at the split results, Poland would have qualified if 100% public vote, and Romania would have qualified, Latvia would have qualified, and Malta would have qualified if 100% jury. The juries love Malta every year. The public put it last. Very harsh. Very harsh. So there we have it. Really not much else to say. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a ramble, and if you're still watching, thank you very much. There's not much point talking about the stage. It looked great, but some countries obviously struggled without an LED screen. The hosts, they were okay. Next year, in Israel, it's likely to be in Jerusalem, probably at the Jerusalem Arena. In fact, I'd be shocked if that wasn't chosen. Haifa and Beersheba are also in contention. Tel Aviv has been ruled out. The mayor said no, which is quite surprising. I'm sure we will know, probably by October, November, which place is going to host it. And then, of course, we can get even more excited about next year's contest. I was quite young the last time Israel staged a competition, so I don't really remember it. But yes, it should be good. Of course, the political situation isn't fantastic. I'm sure that might be a problem. The mayor of Dublin said Ireland should withdraw. Not sure why. I think that's a bit silly. Andorra could return. Liechtenstein could debut. But that is it. There's really not much more to say. Feel free to leave your comments down below if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. I don't really mind either way. If you are Israeli, let me know about next year's show. Are you excited for it? Where will it be staged? Who's going to host? All of that business. If you are from Cyprus, second place, how do you feel about that? If you're from Belgium, are you disappointed with Senek? Do you think her performance could have been better? Let me know. I am interested. A blog post review of this year's show will be up on WordPress at some point this week. It might be quite long, so there's a lot of typing awaiting me. And I'll also be doing a blog post at some point, a very early preview of next year's show. As for videos, well, I don't know whether I'll be making any more until next May. I really don't know. If the demand is there, then I will, of course, make Eurovision related videos sporadically throughout the rest of this year and for the foreseeable future. But if there is no video from me for quite some time, then all I can say is thank you very much for watching my videos over the past week or so. It's much appreciated. My reaction videos, I can't believe it, you know, several thousand views. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. And of course, feel free to leave comments always. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. This time last week, Eurovision hadn't even started, and now it's over. And if only I knew my favourite song of the year would be eliminated. Very, very briefly, actually, before I go, my top 43 of this year's contest. I'll very briefly go through it. So 43rd to 1st. Montenegro, Georgia, Serbia, Belarus, Russia, San Marino, Armenia, Iceland, Croatia, Greece, Latvia, Romania, Slovenia, Moldova, Malta, Austria, Hungary, Poland, Sweden, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Norway, Spain, and then the top 20. United Kingdom, Czech Republic, Azerbaijan, Macedonia, Israel, Ireland, Finland, Switzerland, Italy, Australia, Cyprus, number 10, Albania 9, Estonia 8, Lithuania 7, France 6, Germany 5, Portugal 4, Denmark 3, Netherlands 2, Belgium 1. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and the support for these videos has been great. I appreciate it so much. Until next time, whenever that may be, bye for now.